Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Regular People's podcast. So, please, before we move on and do anything, please make sure that you go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also comment and watch all the other videos that are on the channel. There's a plenty of content to watch on the channel. Previous podcast doing okay, but that podcast actually has a lot of news. But surprising surprise, I'm in a different place today. I'm gonna be in different places every week probably. I am currently traveling right now, and that's why I'm here and not in my normal studio. But I am gonna be recording wherever I am because, as you guys know, I am kind of doing this full time now, and it's not easy, but it's something that is extremely enjoyable. So, guys, I saw a tweet. Like how everything begins nowadays. You see a tweet and you're like, that looks bizarre. I saw a tweet and I'm putting it on the screen as I speak about it right now, about a boy or a girl whose arm is about to get amputated due to COVID-19 vaccine. And I was like, what? This is untrue. And this person quotes SABC saying SABC reported this. And I'm like, fuck no. So obviously go to the SABC Twitter page, check it out, and I don't see anything. I'm like, yo, this is extremely bizarre. SABC, why would SABC say something like this? Because this literally sounds like something that anti-vax or whatever you call them would say. I mean, this is very bizarre. And for a minute, I don't believe this person, and I go through the comments, try to look for the link. I cannot find anything, but I go online, search amputation, SABC, can find anything, but go back to the comments and I find a link. Guys, this story is true. A young girl's arm faces amputation after taking the COVID-19. So I finally found the link and I'm gonna post it on the description so that you can go and check it out yourself. I'm not gonna post anything, no Instagram. I'm just gonna post the link there so that you can read this story yourself. And it was absolutely crazy to me when I saw it. I'm obviously not an anti-vax person. If you know me, I've literally laughed in the face of anti-vaxxers because I thought the arguments that they made were ridiculous. Some of them were a little weird. For some people who don't believe in science, they would make all these alternative arguments that are not exactly based in reality, and they would make these arguments just in the face of overwhelming evidence that actually the vaccines work, but they would never really acknowledge that the vaccines work. But it was such a bizarre thing to go. It was such a bizarre period in the country where there was this division between the people who want to take the vaccine and the people who don't want to take the vaccine. To be fair, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I never really got a chance to take the vaccine just so that I can be honest and transparent. But it had nothing to do with the fact that I was against it. Firstly, I felt like I tried to go get it, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get it. And then I never made my appointment. And then no one required me to do it. I didn't feel, because people were also making this argument, everyone is getting forced to do it. And I'm like, bro, if I was getting forced to do the vaccine, I could have done it a long time ago. But I know some people, school kids or rather university students, they were forced to some extent to take the vaccine. And some companies actually require people to take the vaccine. I've never had any of those issues. And if that was the case for me, I was going to take the vaccine like this. No issues here. But the reason why I'm telling you all this is because the anti-vaxxers got a story where, in fact, even though it's anecdotal, they've got some evidence that, this whole vaccine situation, at least their fear, is reasonable and it's actually based on something. And honestly, after this story, I'm not saying I've turned to the dark side and now I'm an anti-vaxxer or anything like that. But all I'm saying is their fears were legitimate, So what happened? So I'm going to read now on SABC. Like I said, I'm going to put the link so that anyone can read the story themselves. So the the title: a 14-year-old Eastern Cape learner facing arm amputation after allegedly taking COVID-19 vaccine. Bro, that's the title. And then it continues to say, a 14-year-old from Tina Falls Primary Schools in Kumbu in the Eastern Cape is facing possible arm amputation after she allegedly received COVID-19 vaccination, and specifically she used the Pfizer vaccine. Yamkela got an infection and developed a huge lump on her arm, and I'm showing the arm as I'm speaking right now. The upper arm has been swelling since last year. The young girl has since dropped out of school due to her condition. Medical doctors have suggested possible amputation of the girl's arm. This young girl who's ambitious to become a social worker. The COVID-19 vaccine is alleged to have threatened this young girl's dream. It is alleged that she was forced to get the vaccination. If not, she would have not been registered as a learner. I don't know who that is. After injection, she developed a lump that forced her out of school. She was sent to the Nelson Mandela Academic Hospital, but later to Bedford Orthopedic Hospital. On the vaccination day, we were instructed to go bring our parents. I went out, called my mother, but she refused to come to sign so that I could get vaccinated. After we were threatened that those who had not vaccinated would not get the school, would not be registered to school. I don't know who wrote this card. I then vaccinated. After vaccination, I developed a small lump in February last year, and in December it became worse. I had to quit school, Yamkela explained. The family blames the Nelson Mandela Academic Hospital for the negligence. We went to the hospital and we were told to go back because it was Good Friday weekend. I mean, that's, public health situation in South Africa is totally brutal. There are no doctors that will check her, so we should go home. We come back to Nelson Mandela Academic Hospital, but we were refused, or rather referred to Bedford Orthopedic. Surprisingly, the doctors at Nelson Mandela Academic did not write the report. We were told that they did not check the medical condition of the child. We were disappointed because this should have been detected earlier. If it was the main reason, was, I don't know I don't know who wrote this article. So, but this was said by Yamkela's mother. Someone has to take responsibility, and it's our responsibility as advocacy for the children's rights to prove that it was not as a result of the vaccination that has got a problem that we are facing right now, and therefore we need another opinion from outside the department to determine that is something we will have to follow. So this article is a mess. I don't know who wrote it. I'm struggling to read it. I'm telling you guys. I don't know. A lot of errors, grammatical errors. The sentences don't make sense. But this is the story, guys. This is the story of a young girl who unfortunately got a huge lump after the vaccination. And this is absolutely terrifying thing to think about something like this. I mean, this young girl, and I said I keep posting her picture while I'm talking. I mean, her arm is like scary, like very, very scary, and this is as a result of vaccination and just like pure negligence from the public health system that we have here in South Africa, and the public health system which anyway obviously benefits the people who cannot afford to go to private hospital, and it's paid for by taxpayers' money, but doctors, nurses, and just general administrators of those public hospitals do not really care, even though the public pay their salaries. So this is just a case of public health failure, and also some of these vaccines maybe because here's the thing, vaccines are effective. I don't think there's a question there. They have been effective for a very long time, and there's actually like a history of vaccines eradicating very dangerous diseases. And I think that goes without saying. But I think also we shouldn't be negligent to think that the vaccine will always be wonderful. The vaccine, there might be something wrong with the vaccine. And I think it's okay to admit that. But also, I don't think we should go into the other direction where we have vaccines, which is obviously a medical miracle that has been proven to work. I don't think we should also just say, fuck the vaccine, we should not take it anymore when there are isolated incidences like this. So, here, medical professionals, the government, private companies, Pfizer, the regulator, must come together and find out what happened and find out the extent of this problem. Is this an isolated event, or is this problem actually pervasive? I doubt it, because if it was actually, we would have known about it. And what is it about Yamkela that she had this very bad reaction to this vaccine? Because and the advocacy group say they don't think it is possible the vaccine. I mean, obviously we know that causation does, correlation, causation, all that stuff, but I think it is worth getting in. It's worth investigating. At least investing some money in making sure that obviously they investigate to see that they can prevent this thing from becoming a pervasive problem. But also making sure that the girl's arm is fine. Is there something that they can do to avoid the amputation? Because she's been carrying this lump for over a year and it forced her out of school. Man, the public health system has failed her. The government has failed her. The private companies, which by the way they cannot be sued if something is wrong with the vaccine. Obviously they have this legal they have this liability protection, which I think is a little ridiculous. So why, if you're doing effective medicine, you shouldn't need liability protection? But obviously they should look into instances like this so that they can at least prevent them. I mean, this is an opportunity to save a whole lot of people's lives, or to actually make sure that this thing doesn't happen again. And also this could also actually assist in medical research moving forward, so that we can avoid certain things that might result in Abu Yamkela having their arms being blown out like that. But yeah, that's something that I wanted to report to you guys. Please let me know what you think of this story. Obviously extremely painful for her, and I hope and pray that something happens. And please share these stories so that other people can know about this, because it's not exactly carried on national media. As we know, national media obviously always protects the big pharmaceutical companies, and it will never cover a story like this. But let me know what you guys think. It's been your boy Tapelo, and it's been a very difficult day. I think you guys can tell that I am extremely tired. I am out.